many of you are comfortable with silence? I love to talk. I love to have conversations. I love music. I love to have things going on in the background. And I've discovered that sometimes I'm a little uncomfortable with silence. And I go to a coffee shop and I wonder, can I really just sit still and just not be distracted, not pull up my phone, not stick earbuds in and listen to music, but could I really actually sit in silence and be comfortable? And I sometimes can't, to be truthful. I get so distracted. But God has been challenging me about silence. And I started thinking and going back in time and thinking, okay, so I'm going to have a silent afternoon. So on Sunday afternoons, you're going to find me with a cup of coffee and a silent living room. My kids know, don't interrupt mama when she's in the living room. That's like her quiet zone. And I thought, okay, I'm choosing silence. To choose silence is one thing, but what happens when it's imposed on you? When someone refuses to respond to an email, when someone gets mad at you and selects the silent treatment instead of just coming right out and talking to you, Lord, and I started seeking his face, I realized that silence is part of our Christian walk. I had to learn to become comfortable with God's silence and not view it as he's giving me the silent treatment or he's removed his presence from my life. Has that ever happened to you? When you've prayed for something for so long and God has just stayed silent, and you can interpret that silence as, I'm disappointed in you, child, or I can't be around you if you're going to behave that way. That's not the kind of God that we read about in the Bible. He is near and he is close and he draws near to the brokenhearted. And have you noticed that sometimes the most comfort that someone can give us when we are in our most weakest is just their presence, and they give us their prayerful silence? Well, what if we were to look at it this way? Silence is God giving us a chance to grow, that he gives us his silence as a gift, as a privilege, as a responsibility. What do I mean by that? Well, Psalm 46:10 says to be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that he is God. He is strong and he is mighty and he is faithful and he is steadfast. And when we choose to view his silence as an opportunity for us to stand firm, to believe in faith that my God is going to say what he says and he's going to do what he says and he's faithful and he promises not to leave me and not to forsake me. And he might be quiet right now, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to move away from him. His silence is an opportunity for me to stand firm on the faith and belief in who he is. So we can pray, and when he is silent with our prayers, we can learn persistence. When we are in a circumstance where we're desperate for God to intervene, we can exercise steadfastness. This is where his silence isn't punishing, but his silence is an opportunity for us to grow, for us to choose him in every moment, for our faith to expand and to grow. You see, in Psalm 46:10, we can also remember that through God's word and our individual lives as proof of God's faithfulness, we can rest in the silence that he gives us and believe and know that he is with us, and we can stand firm in who he says he is.